Let's watch this quick clip to get you turned on.
Che cosa guardi, eh? Che cosa guardi? Mi stai spogliando con gli occhi? Poverino. Non puoi farne a meno. Ti batte il cuore. Ti gira la testa. Sei persa pensando che sarò tua per sempre. The Fiat 500 Abarth. You'll never forget the first time you see one.
I love her. She's so hot. It's such a great commercial. I actually test drove an Abarth when this commercial came out. I didn't buy it, but I still remember it to this day. It's pretty good marketing. So hopefully that's enough to get you in the mood to keep listening for the hottest thing since Bitcoin, THORChain. And THORChain is named after the god of thunder himself, Thor. All the terminology with the project is named after Norse mythology, like its token rune. And there's even a running joke inside the THORChain community. Chris Hemsworth is the CEO of THORChain. And I'll give you something here for those of you attracted to men. There you go, a little something. Don't want to leave you out. So it's a joke that he's the CEO of THORChain because THORChain has no CEO. THORChain is decentralized. Just like Bitcoin, it has no CEO. This is the whole point of crypto is decentralization. That there is no central authority or central figure or any single point of failure like that. And it's not blockchain. Right? Blockchain is just a synonym for Excel spreadsheet. The whole point here is decentralization. And that matters because it's what makes Bitcoin, near impossible to attack or stop or shut down, because there isn't any single person or entity or group to go after. And so what's so great about THORChain then? Well, Bitcoin is revolutionary because you can send Bitcoin with no central authority or bank involved. THORChain is revolutionary because you can trade Bitcoin with no central authority or bank involved. So ever since the invention of Litecoin, the second cryptocurrency, there's been a need to trade between Bitcoin for Litecoin and whatever coin. And to do that, you had to go through a centralized exchange. And these centralized exchanges are no different than a stock brokerage account, where they have all your personal information, they hold your assets, they can be stolen from, the exchange can be fraudulent, whatever. You're trusting them with your wealth, and which kind of defeats the whole point of decentralization, right? But we've had no choice. We've had to use these centralized exchanges in order to trade different cryptocurrencies. And it's led to all kinds of problems and issues. Basically, almost every negative thing you've heard about crypto, any bad thing that's happened, the root cause has been a centralized exchange for people who are trying to trade Bitcoin for whatever coin. And if we go back, look in the past, Mt. Gox, that was a big one back in 2014. 650,000 Bitcoin were stolen. The exchange was hacked, and that Bitcoin was stolen. That was about 5% of the total Bitcoin supply at the time. In today's dollars, that's worth about $11 billion. It was huge. That really set back the industry. In 2018, the biggest exchange in Canada, Quadriga CEX, they had about 350,000 customers, and the CEO mysteriously died. You can go down a rabbit hole looking into that one, but right after he died, the exchange blew up, $200 million went missing, and investigators looked into it and figured out it was probably a Ponzi scheme, a fraud the whole time. And so that's why a lot of people question, did the CEO really die? Did he escape? Did he run away with the funds? We don't know. In last summer, 2022, when Luna blew up, all kinds of carnage was going on in the sector. One of the biggest ones is Celsius. They were the biggest crypto lender in the space. At the time, they had 1.7 million customers, and they are on the hook. They're owed $4.7 billion. Celsius is going through bankruptcy right now, and it's unclear, was that a scam? Was that a fraud? Did they steal the money? Or is it just poor lending practices combined with the bank run and the market crashing? We don't know yet. And then obviously there's FTX, right? Everybody knows about that now. $10 billion stolen from people. And those are just some of the more popular ones, if you will. There's been all kinds of frauds in the sector over the last several years, all on centralized exchanges. And there's also been a lot of hacks, because these exchanges are like honeypots, right? They're pooling all this capital. It's attractive for a hacker to come and look and try and steal it. So the 10 largest hacks of all time, 6 of them have been on centralized exchanges. So this is a problem. It needs to be solved. And the obvious solution to something that's centralized is decentralized, right? So solution to a centralized exchange is a decentralized exchange. One that has no one person in control, no SBF who can steal everyone's money, and everyone can hold their crypto in self-custody, even in cold storage. And so, there are some DEXs like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Trader Joe, but they can only trade tokens on their native chain. So, for example, Uniswap is an Ethereum-based DEX. It can only trade Ethereum-based tokens. PancakeSwap is a Binance Smart Chain DEX. It can only trade Binance Smart Chain tokens, and so on. You can't trade an Ethereum token on PancakeSwap. It doesn't work like that. And so there's a huge demand or huge need to go from one chain to another, especially Bitcoin. Right? None of those DEXs I mentioned, none of them can trade Bitcoin. And one way the market is trying to solve this is by using bridges and wrapping tokens. And the way to think about them is it's no different. It's the exact same thing as a goldsmith back in the day. They have a vault. You put your gold in it. You get a receipt, and you take that receipt and you go and you hold on to it. And eventually people realize, hey, we can just trade receipts with each other, right? We don't have to go through the headache of getting our gold and trading our gold. And so as long as a person who is receiving the receipt, trusts that they can exchange it for gold, they're more than happy to treat it like gold and assign it the same value as the gold back in the receipt. And that works until it doesn't, right? It's a history, right? This has been time and time again throughout human history. Those receipts end up becoming worthless and people lose their gold. It's the exact same thing with the bridge and wrapping. The bridge is the vault and the wrap token is the receipt. And this is what WBTC is, wrapped Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin wrapped or held in an Ethereum contract. So it's like Bitcoin in an Ethereum vault, if you will. And you put in one Bitcoin, one BTC, and you get one WBTC. And you use this receipt for your Bitcoin, this wrapped token, to go trade or go use on Ethereum. So now you can go trade that on Uniswap or using the other DeFi protocols on Ethereum. So today there's about 185,000 Bitcoin in WBTC. And just a couple months ago, there was 265,000 Bitcoin in it. And with the whole collapse with FTX and everyone freaking out about counterparty risk, there's a mass exodus, people pulling their Bitcoin out of the contract, to take back their custody. No different than, looking back, with the goldsmith vaults and the receipts. If people started freaking out about the receipts not being good, they're going to rush back to their gold vaults, turn in their receipts, and get their gold back, right? They don't want to take that risk. And that's what has been happening with WBTC over the last couple months. And WBTC, it's a centralized contract. It's run by a company called BitGo, and so you're basically, people are trusting BitGo to hold, to manage this contract. And again, that's a centralized entity, centralized organization. And so, despite that, it's still, WBTC is still like around the 20th largest crypto by market cap. There's a huge demand to get Bitcoin into, to trade in these other exchanges and to use it in DeFi. So people are so willing to do it, despite the risk. And so unfortunately, this is where the industry has moved towards, is wrapping in bridges as a means to get crypto from one protocol to another, to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum to whatever coin. And but these bridges, they've been a huge problem too. They've been giant honeypots as well. All this crypto goes into these bridges. It attracts hackers, and they come and hack the bridge and take all the the money out of it. And so the two largest hacks of all time have been on bridges. That $1.2 billion was stolen. So pretty much every negative thing you've heard about money being stolen, hacked, frauds, Ponzi, whatever, has all been on some kind of centralized platform, centralized exchange, centralized contract, whatever. It's a real problem. And whoever solves this problem stands to profit handsomely. But it just so happens there is a solution, and it's THORChain. And Erik Voorhees says it best.
Yeah. So in my entire 10 years in crypto, obviously the project that excited me most was Bitcoin when I first learned about it. And I just had this feeling of like, this is something so special and profound. And I never had that with Ethereum, not because Ethereum's not special and profound. It absolutely is, but I was not smart enough to understand Ethereum when it first came out, right? Like I understand generally how it works now and why it's so powerful, but certainly when it was being proposed, I did not. THORChain I understood when I started looking into it, and THORChain is, without exaggeration, the project that has excited me most ever since the first learning of Bitcoin, right? So I don't want to, that's a powerful statement.
So what is THORChain? It's a true decentralized exchange. It's the first and only DEX that can trade layer 1 Bitcoin for layer 1 Ethereum, for layer 1 anything else, without using bridges, no wrapping, no receipts, no paper, anything. It's physical crypto being exchanged, and no one's been able to do this before. And THORChain is the only protocol that can do this. And not only that, you can keep or maintain custody of your crypto even in cold storage. And so you just send the crypto from your cold storage wallet to THORChain, and you get back crypto into your wallet. You have custody of it. So now you don't need a centralized exchange to trade. We have a real DEX. We have THORChain. Anyone in the world can use it. There's no account paperwork to fill out. No one asks for permission. All you need is a crypto wallet with crypto in it. And this is important because this is DeFi. The THORChain is real DeFi. This is where we're going, or we're trying to go. This is what the industry is meant. This is the whole point of decentralization. And don't take it from me. I really like these comments from Patrick Hillman, Chief Strategy Officer of Binance. Listen to him here.
We firmly believe that the crypto industry is going to continue to evolve towards true decentralization. It's what the tech was invented for. It's the most exciting part about the tech, and it's where the tech, I think, shows the most obvious sort of opportunities for the global economy and for the average user. And so, CEXs are going to continue to have a role to play over the next decade, but CZ has been real clear. He said it on multiple occasions that there's a good chance that Binance might not even have an exchange in 10 years from now, because again, we foresee that DeFi is going to continue to move towards greater adoption and will eventually reign supreme.
And so CZ, he's the CEO and founder of Binance. And Binance is the largest crypto exchange in the world. And so if anybody has any vested interest in seeing their exchange not go extinct, it's CZ and Binance and Patrick Hillman. But they see the future. They see where it's going. DeFi is the future. Decentralized exchanges are the future. And so Binance, their bet, the way they're playing this is through Trust Wallet. That's they're investing there and building it out. And lo and behold, what did they announce the other day? Their integration with THORChain. And check out this tweet here from CZ. So Trust Wallet has about 50 million downloads and about 10 million active users per month. THORChain, it measures its users in the thousands. So now with this integration, THORChain instantly went from thousands of users to potentially 50 million people. It's insane. And why would Trust Wallet integrate such a tiny DEX? They have to. They have no choice. THORChain is the only way to trade Bitcoin with Ethereum, with Binance Coin, with whatever other coin, any other layer 1 crypto. There isn't anything else. There isn't anyone doing it. So they have to. And the best part is this isn't proprietary to Trust Wallet. Any wallet, any app, any website can integrate THORChain in the background, and several already have. But now with Trust Wallet doing it, kind of one of the preeminent ones, premier ones, the larger ones, it really forces the hands of the other wallets to follow suit. Because if you're going to go download a crypto wallet, which one are you going to download? The one where you can only hold crypto, or the one where you can trade? Of course, I mean, they're both free, right? Neither of them cost you anything. You're going to go with the one that can trade, the one with the more features. And so why would Trust Wallet go through the hassle and effort of doing this, if it's for free? Well, they have the option of programming in their own commission. And so they can keep that commission at zero if they want, give their users ability to trade for free, that's up to them. Or they can program it in and actually start monetizing their user base. So you can download the app for free, but then when you go to trade, right, you pay a commission. And this is important too, because all these wallets, none of them, they've all been, it's a typical Silicon Valley business model: get users, get eyes, and then monetize it. And now with all these wallets, not making any money for years, now they have a way to make money, to monetize it. And especially in a bear market, things are tough, more reason for them to get this going, so they have some kind of income, some kind of revenue. And but not only that, just to stay relevant. Again, right, if you have a wallet and you can't trade, but all these other wallets you can, your wallet's going to start losing market share. It's common sense. So if all these wallets start integrating THORChain in the background, this really sets the stage for the volume on THORChain to explode. And if you look at the daily volume on THORChain and just compare it to, say, Binance, for every $1 traded on THORChain is about $2,000 traded on Binance. That's a 2,000 to 1 ratio. So even if you're going to say, oh, the trading on Binance is all wash trading, it's just bots, this and that. Okay, fine, divide it by 10. For every $1 traded on THORChain, there's $200 traded on Binance, right? It's a rounding error, the volume on THORChain right now compared to Binance. And if you remember, the Binance people themselves believe and think that decentralized exchanges are going to become bigger than centralized exchanges. So Binance probably won't go away, it'll still be around, but THORChain could easily become much bigger than Binance. So it doesn't mean all the volume from Binance is all of a sudden going to shift over to THORChain. It's going to take time. And but it's very plausible to think the volume on THORChain can far outpace and exceed that of Binance, because it's decentralized. Binance is centralized. And we've seen how the decentralized products can grow much quicker and bigger than their centralized counterparts. And it's not just in crypto. Think about Uber and Airbnb. Uber, within a few short years, It became the world's largest taxi company because their inventory of taxis are decentralized. Airbnb, their inventory of hotel rooms is decentralized. They're the biggest hotel company in the world. So it's not that crazy to think THORChain could become the largest crypto exchange in the world because this inventory is decentralized. And so are you in awe yet? Do you get it? THORChain's stunning. It has everything you desire. But for now, don't worry about how it works. Just accept that it does. It's no different than the model in the commercial. You don't know what she's saying, but you know it works. I'll have a video on how THORChain works here soon. It's complicated, it's sleek, it's exotic. When I first came across THORChain, learning about it, it stopped me dead on my tracks. The beautiful design, it was mesmerizing. And the more I learned about it, the more it turned me on. But I didn't look away in shame. I fell in love.